Hello, I'm Alex Lafkus. Sitting here doing a little tie-in, but just some bass clousers, nothing fancy. See, that one's not even close to done. Um, there's been some things on my mind lately as far as the bass fishing goes in northern Michigan. I've really seen a decline in the quality of our fisheries up here. Um, we still have big fish, but our numbers have really, really plummeted. I'd say in the last 7, 8, 9 years, I've really seen it. It's hurting. There were some spots that I used to fish in East Bay that like I'd troll over them, looking for game, looking for whatever, a muskie or something, and um, you'd mark 20, 30 fish in a pod. Oh man, there's a lot of fish out here. A lot of fish out here. Those same spots you drive over now, you're maybe seeing five or six. Um, some of the inland lakes where it was not uncommon to catch, 20 in the spring on a decent day. I'm not talking bed fishing, I'm talking pre-spawn fishing. Now you're in the 5 to 10 range. Um, and it's not just something I'm seeing, everybody's seeing it. It's not just that I'm no good at bass fishing, it's that everybody's kind of seeing the same trend. The biologists are aware, and there's some stuff that they're talking about as far as implementing, changing some of what we do. We've had a lot of things change up here in the last decade: fishing pressure, number of tournaments, and gobies. So we've got a lot of gobies up here now, and there's some things that occur up here, like bass tournaments during the spawn, that might not exactly help that situation. What we've got going is a lot of these tournaments will start in one lake, whether it be, South Lake, Leelanau, Elk Lake, West Bay, East Bay. You know, and what you tend to see is there was a big tournament earlier this spring out of West Bay. Guys run up to Lake Charlevoix, Elk Rapids, south end of East Bay, all over the place. A lot of them looking for spawning fish, pulling some big hens, and weighing in some big fish. Well, if you fish up here enough, you know that you can have a difference in 8 to 10 degrees between a body of water like that. So, a lot of these tournament guys will run up to Lake Charlevoix, get their spawning fish, come back and weigh them in West Bay. Now, I'm not a biologist, but that doesn't seem like a real smart thing to do. You're going to take a fish that is spawning in X temperature and remove him or her to someplace that's 10 degrees colder. I don't know what happens to those fish. I don't know if they ever spawn. I'm sure they don't make the 50-mile trek back. You also see it in the Antrim chain. There'll be a tournament that leaves out of, say, Elk Lake, and I saw it. There was a college tournament a bunch of years ago where everybody was running up into Torch Lake where the fish were on beds, and then coming and weighing them in on elk. So not only is it a long boat ride, but your temperature difference is about 7 to 8 degrees. Now, I got real problems with that. I just, like I said, I'm not a biologist, but that can't be good for the fishery. Not only that, if they're just post-spawn or you have males guarding beds and you're pulling those males to go weigh them, it gives a perfect opportunity for the gobies to come in and invade the beds and eat all the eggs. Our numbers have plummeted. Now, a lot of things have changed, obviously. Gobies, more tournaments, more fishing pressure, and habitat destruction. We got more and more people every year up here building houses, making sure they got a nice green lawn, which is just horrible for our bodies of water. I mean, you drive around where there used to be great cabbage beds and stuff like that, and it's all just covered with brown algae. But it seems like, we could have some control over that, but good luck getting any of these communities to tell the guy who just bought $1 million house to actually not fertilize it, and that, he doesn't live on a golf course, contrary to what he believes. So, I don't know. It's getting a little frustrating. I think one of the things we can do, the that's easiest in our control is to either wait and open the season later, as far as no possession until a lot of these fish are done spawning, or you could ask for a little responsibility out of the tournaments and the tournament anglers to not promote it and not push it. The problem is, they don't seem to care. They seem to think, oh, well, we, push catch and release for so long and we've done such amount of good for these fisheries. And frankly, now you got clubs from all over the country coming up here. Well, more the Midwest. I can't say all over the country. And man, they don't care at all. They're sitting there thinking, well, I want to win this tournament. No, 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 no. Dude, it's completely irresponsible. It's driving me absolutely crazy. And the tournament guys just think, oh, this is great. We're bed fishing. Half these guys, if they couldn't see the fish, they couldn't catch them. So, frankly, the way I guide and the way I fish, the beauty of up here is you've got so many different bodies of water that you can jump from pre-spawn to pre-spawn to pre-spawn to pre-spawn to post-spawn. A lot of these guys just wait to see them on beds and go get them. They don't know the spots, the flats, the areas that they can catch more of these fish. Man, I really encourage anybody who cares, reach out to biologists up here. Lake associations are noticing it and reaching out to biologists and the NRC. It's been an issue up on Burton Mullet. They're having major conversations about what's going on. I've seen it in the Antrim chain. I even get to the point where guys on some of these lakes are complaining that there's so many tournaments, they can't go out and fish anymore because there's always somebody at every spot. Most of these are focused on spawn time. I just think it's a really irresponsible thing that's going on here. The tournament anglers just think, well, this is our deal. We're tournament fishermen. Dude, it shows zero respect for the fishery. It shows absolutely total disregard for the future of these fisheries. They come in for their 5 days, pre-fish, 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 even if they're not weighing their fish. Like you see, even if it's not a tournament, what you'll see is guys driving around getting their picture holding 4 big females at the end of the day. Well, if those are 4 big females that were sitting there on beds or right next to their spawning area, and you take them for a boat ride forever just to get your glory picture, who knows if those fish are spawning successfully. It's just this mentality in the bass fishing world has got to change. We are seeing it up here. It has not been good. It is the thing that's most in our control that I think we got to do something about. So please, I encourage you, reach out to biologists, reach out to the NRC if you can, and just talk to them about either catch an immediate release until, we got fish spawning into July here. And you can start harvesting them the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. So from there on, tournaments are fair game. You can possess those fish. So look, if you're going to do tournaments, you're going to have to do something different where it's just a measure and dump back, catch an immediate release. Think about it. Try to be responsible about this. We had world-class fishing up here, and right now, frankly, if I were going to travel to fish, I'd go to, a lake like Mille Lacs in Minnesota because they are bigger, because they do have regs in to protect them. Now, Wisconsin just implemented catch and release, immediate release season year round. So we'll see if that has an impact on their bass populations. That'll be curious to see. I'm not sure when their harvest season opens up on Sturgeon Bay, all the big time bass fisheries. But I know I'm just kind of ranting and raving right now, but I've just gotten so frustrated with it. And I've talked to the biologists and everybody, and we got to do something. One of my buddies did a creel survey years ago, and this was a lot of harvest stuff, possession stuff, just what's going on. And basically, he told me at that point, this was probably 5 or 6 years ago, that if the DNR didn't act, they were going to be the ones in charge for the biggest collapse of a fishery in the state of Michigan history. Like what he was seeing from people keeping fish off beds, people just possessing them to weigh them, he's like, this is unsustainable. And from what I'm seeing from the bass fishing, we've hit a wall where it's severely declining. It's a concern. So please reach out and talk to somebody. Contact B.A.S S, contact your local chapters and see what they're doing. I reach out to them. They just say, whatever. Usually they just ignore me. Or you get the kickback, oh, you're just a guide. You just want it for yourself. No, that has nothing to do with it. It has to do with protecting a fishery. Um, it's just, we got to do this or it's going to be over. I mean, it's terrible compared to what it was. So, anyway, sorry for the rant, but I'm gonna get back to time flies. But thanks for listening and you know helping me cope with this.